Hello, good morning. Welcome to a mixed level flow. If you have some blocks, grab some blocks. If you have anything that's like a bolster, if you have a blanket or a strap, just have all of your goodies kind of placed around you. It's better to have them than to not have them. I don't know if I said, my name is Leah. This is a mixed level flow, so that means do what you can, as it feels good, and then just kind of leave everything else behind. Let it not be for you today. If you need more, do more. This is definitely your practice. I ask that if you do more, you're doing it safely, and you're doing it for the right reasons. You're not doing it to build up the ego, to prove that you can do something, but let it be your body naturally just guiding you in that direction. So we're going to start today with a seated meditation. So sit well, sit comfortable. That may mean elevating the hips. You can sit in Sukhasana, Sukha, that good space, so whatever feels good for the body. Maybe that's crossing at the ankles or the shins. If lotus or half lotus feels good in your body, you can go ahead and do that. It might be a lot on the knees, so be careful with that as well. And as you begin to let the pelvis become heavy and descend towards the ground, notice what the upper body wants to do. Does it want to lift and lengthen? Can the shoulders roll up, down, and back? And then where do the arms want to go? Do they want to come to the heart center? Over the belly, the legs, or maybe you really want to root down. And you can make your little cupcake fingers. Let them support behind you to lift up through the heart. Lifting up through the crown, imagining that your neck actually starts between your shoulder blades. Let the extension begin from there, all the way to the crown of the head. A slight pull in of the belly to give a little more length. And then in this position, start breathing more intentionally. Filling the lungs, filling space in the body, and then emptying the lungs. Again, creating space in a different way. As you breathe, just notice all of the things, all of the thoughts swirling around. Begin to just flip the switch on each of them. As if you're in the control center of your iPhone, putting on your do not disturb, saying nope, no notifications right now. This time is for me. Finding a breathing pattern, pranayama, that really centers you. Might be that Viloma pranayama, that interrupted breath that we did yesterday, where you inhale for maybe 2 or 3 seconds and you pause, and then you inhale again for another 2 or 3 seconds and you pause until you're full of air, continuing that pattern, and then you exhale in the same way in segments. Notice what that does for the body. That brings on more stress or even agitation. I ask that you let it go. That's not the meditation tool for you today. Instead, find an easier breath. Perhaps you don't even think about the breath. You just let it happen, and instead you notice the physical sensations of the body. Notice the 5 senses. How do you feel in the space that you're in? How's your skin? Is it warm? Is it cool? Letting this be how we center, how we ground down and into our practice today. This week we've been focusing on the tapas, on that fire, that passion for our practice, that extreme discipline that helps us master our physical bodies, our emotions, our mind. And it can happen in so many ways. We can apply it very differently to a vinyasa style practice than we can to a yin style practice. Today we're going to explore that vinyasa, that heat building. Not the mental heat that we did in our yin, but the physical heat in the body. So we're going to create a lot of warmth today. So begin breathing warmth into the belly. We're going to find our ujjayi breath, our victorious breath, but it does create some heat. So inhale fully through the nose. And then sigh out the mouth like you're fogging up a pane of glass in front of you. You can even put your hand in front of the mouth and feel the heat of your breath on the palm of your hand. Breathing in and out. Doing this again, breathing in, softly sealing the lips and breathing out through the nose in the same way. Feel the heat, feel the fog through the nostrils to the hand. Continue this, breathing in and out through the nose, feeling that heat, that power. We're going to slightly draw back through the chin, widen the hyoid bone. Instead of thinking of constriction in the back of the throat to give this type of breath, think of control. Think of funneling. You can even imagine that you're breathing out a hole in the front of your throat. Begin to really cultivate and strengthen this ujjayi breath, this victorious breath. It's audible. We often say it's oceanic in sound, like the waves rolling in and out. And it can be quiet or loud. Oftentimes it depends on the amount of energy we're exerting in our practice. So right now, to begin building heat, let it be loud. Recognize that you're alone in your space, so there's no reason to feel self-conscious. Just breathe in and out, feeling the sensation, the sound on the inhale and the exhale of this practice, this pranayama. Where can you create heat in the body with this breath? We're going to use this breath to move in and out of postures, out of shapes today, and also to breathe into them, to be there, to hold steady. Tapas isn't about moving. Sometimes it's about stillness and feeling the heat of the pose, releasing effort of the pose and being held by the shape while feeling the heat that overcomes the body. So we've been sitting long enough. Begin to move now. You can keep that type of breath that we just did. You can move towards something else, something easier. Just begin moving around, stirring the center of the body. That's where a lot of the heat's going to come from. You might notice it in other places in the body, especially the legs, the shoulders later. But for now, we're going to warm up through the core. Let that be where the fires started and stoked, and then the flames will just spread up and down. Might feel really nice to take some side bends. Right arm down, left arm up and over. Open through the chest. Pull the belly in. Press the left sit bone down. Reach up through center. Reach high. Lift the shoulder blades on the back. And then over to the other side. Open the chest. Pull the belly in. Press the right hip down. And up through center. 6 movements of the spine. That was 2. Let's twist towards the right. Wringing out that wet towel. You can even imagine that your abdomen is squeezing your hand to the top of a jar and you're trying to open the jar, twisting the lid off. As we come up through center, we're going to begin to squeeze through the abdomen, engage all the muscles of the core, and this time we're tightening the jar. Up through center. Let's lift through the heart, cactus the arms. Option to interlace the fingers behind the back if you'd like, and pull the knuckles down towards the floor as you lift up through the heart. Perhaps even pressing the knees to the floor, lifting up through the pelvis, stretching the front of the pelvis. hips down, reaching up. And then bowing forward, rounding the spine. Time to create some heat. We're going to use some Surya Namaskar, some sun salutations to do this. I'll give a couple modifications, but then we're going to just kind of move in our own way. So let's start modified. Find yourself standing in mountain pose. Shake anything out that you need to shake out. Inhale, come up onto the toes, stretch through the feet. Lift the feet up, press into the heels. Notice your balance shift. You may need to lift through the heart, bend through the knees a bit. Coming all the way up and back, up and back. Now you can go side to side. Just be careful of the sides of the ankles and sides of the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, palms slide up to the shins. Press palms to shins and shins to palms. Shoulder blades pinch together behind you and the heart pulls forward away from the thighs. Lengthen the back of the neck. Uttanasana, fold. Plant the hands, step the feet back. Finding plank pose, drop the knees down. We're going to lower the body all the way down, keeping the shoulder heads lifted, the collarbones broad. Inhale, reach the arms back. Full locust option. Inhale, plant the hands. Press up through table, child's pose here. Spread through the fingers, press through the hands. Begin straightening the legs as you lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Getting right into our movement. Bend the knees, lift the heels, and then flare the tailbone up like cow pose, lifting it up high, pushing the mat away. And then press the heels down. Feel the stretch of the posterior chain. Eyes forward, feet forward. Then we're going to start by tiptoeing. So press firmly into the mat. All the weight from the body pours into the hands. So the hips and the feet are light. You can tiptoe. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Get the shoulders and hips over the hands until you fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, sink the hips, Utkatasana, chair pose. Not here long, push down, rise up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Plant the hands, step the feet back. This time, option to drop the knees down, or we're going to keep them high. Shift forward. Lower down, chaturanga, or all the way, yogi's choice. On the inhale, press into the hands, lift the heart. Again, option for that locust pose. Meeting in downward facing dog, however you need to get there. Feel the heat you're creating. Tapas, fire. Burning away judgment, burning away any negative feelings and the obstacles towards our goals, towards change for the better. Might feel good to dip one hip and then the other. Cross an ankle behind one and then press through the hands. Let your body be your guide. I just give suggestions. Eyes forward. This time tiptoe, step, or hop, yogi's choice. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Rise up all the way, grow tall, reach high like you're reaching for the ceiling. Hands to heart. Notice the breath. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Planting the hands, either stepping back or hopping back. If you hop back, it is to bent elbows, chaturanga. This can help if you think about bringing the heart forward and allowing the arms to bend. So notice, as I'm going to hop back, I plant my hands, I reach my heart forward, so that as I bend my knees and power through the legs, my heart just comes forward. hugging the elbows in. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Can you feel some heat building? Passion for the practice is here. You're here on your mat. That's dedication. That's what tapas is. It's what gets us back on our mat day after day. Eyes forward, feet forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose. Utkatasana. Couple breaths here. Bring the big toes together, slight space between the heels. Squeeze the knees in, squeeze the buns. Pull the low belly in, pull the shoulder blades down as you reach up through the shoulder blades as well. So we're really just hugging in towards the spine and then reaching up. Sink the hips a little lower, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step the right foot back, moving towards Virabhadrasana 1. So plant the back heel down, look forward, rise up. Warrior 1, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands. Left foot back, moving through that flow. Any modification that you need to take for the Surya Namaskar B. Exhale, lift the hips. Breathing here. And we're doing this just a little bit differently. So we started out kind of funky by stepping the foot back. We're going to hop forward. So inhale, hop forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then we're going to bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose. So kind of a half Surya Namaskar B. And then we'll move towards that full. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Sink, sink, sink. And fold. Inhale, half lift. This time we step the left foot back. Plant the foot down. Again, finding Virabhadrasana 1. Moving kind of through that half sun salutation. Letting our bodies acclimate to the shapes before we really demand a lot from them. Planting the hands down. Stepping the foot back, vinyasa option here, or straight to down dog. We're going to make our way to the top of our mat, so your choice, and then we're going to move towards that full Surya Namaskar B. Looking forward, making our way all the way forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, rise up, power down through the feet to reach high through the hands. Hands to heart. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step or hop back, moving through your flow. Feel the heat. You're making this a warm flow just by the work of the body. From here, we're going to lift the right leg and step it all the way forward, moving towards our traditional Surya Namaskar B. Planting that back foot down, rising up, one breath, one movement. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands down. Right foot back. Your option here. You can modify in any way that you need to. Moving through this vinyasa. And now the left foot steps forward. Right foot plants down. Inhale, reach up. One breath, one movement. Exhale, plant the hands down. This time the left foot back. Vinyasa option. Inhale, press into the hands, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the hips, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 5 breaths here. Option to come down to knees or child's pose or get some water. The hands are giving you trouble, come down to forearms, find your dolphin. Just maintain that protraction through the shoulders. Push the floor away, pull the low belly in, find that Uddiyana Bandha. Making your way back to down dog. Eyes forward. Tiptoe, step, or hop, yogi's choice. All the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, sink the hips, Utkatasana, chair pose. Option to extend the arms, keep them at heart center, or any other variation that sounds good for you. But find work, find heat. We're looking for fire. If you're not feeling the fire, you're not feeling the tapas in this pose. Tapas is the discipline to take action towards our goals, towards the change we want. What kind of change, what kind of goal did you come on your mat today with? Let this be the action that gets you there. Lowering down a little more. Until we come all the way down, we can roll back. And then we can roll up, finding our boat pose. Option, if you need to bring the knees in, you can bring the knees in. You can hug behind the knees, bring hands behind, toes down. Whatever Navasana works for you, take that Navasana. Today I'm choosing the legs bent version. I might extend sometimes. Again, I'm adapting because we all need to be adaptable. Very important if we want a lifelong practice. Feel the belly burn. Squeeze everything in like a corset. Can you feel the thighs work? Can you pull the thighs towards the belly? Feel the hip flexors fire. Flex the feet and then pull back through the heels. Feel the hamstrings lift. Feel them work. Hugging the bone. Can you lift the arms up, pull the belly in, lift up through the heart, and then push through the legs, reach towards the feet, lower down, low boat. Shoulders are not touching, only the sacrum is touching. Arms overhead like a handstand, flex the hands, press into the hands. High boat. Cross at the ankles, pull towards the glutes. Come through the hands. Think Bakasana here. Okay, so if you want, you can even uncross the ankles and just squeeze the feet towards each other. Try and get the knees high up on the triceps. We're pushing into the hands. We're squeezing, counter pressure, squeezing knees to triceps. Pull the belly in. Bakasana around the spine. Look down and forward. And then get hands to feet. Or hands in front of feet. Butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Reach forward. Now we're going to be getting in towards a little bit of discussion of Anjana. Who is that? Well, you'll see. We'll get into Anjaneyasana and I'll give a little bit of background. It's a fascinating story. Just remember that all of this stuff, all of the story, it can be intimidating, I know, especially if you were raised a certain way to think that this stuff is all too woo-woo or crazy. But remember, they're just stories. They just help make these ideas more tangible for us. So we're gonna rock and roll back up. We're gonna move through to downward facing dog. If you'd like to find that boat pose again, cross at the ankles, pull towards the heels, reach the hands through the arms, and then rock forward, plant the hands, and then shoot back, chaturanga. That's an option. You can also just find yourself in down dog. Pedal out, let it feel good. Then we're going to find our first Anjaneyasana. So inhale, reach the right leg high. And I mean high. You're trying to push the left fingertips and the right toes as far away from each other as you can. The longest diagonal line of your life. Pull the belly in, find the reach. And And then as you begin to pull the knee towards the chest, as the hip crease begins to come under the hip, you're going to start to round the spine, lift up the left heel, cat back, flat hands, step the foot forward as far as you can. From there, use your hand, help get it more forward. We're keeping flat hands as we step forward. Let the left knee come down. We're in our Anjana. So, this is where blocks can be handy. If you need longer arms, make yourself some longer arms. Anjana, there's a couple stories about her. So as I tell some stories, what I want you to do is I want you just to get comfortable in this pose. I want you to rock back and forth. You can come to a straight leg, find the Ardha Hanumanasana. You can dip the pelvis forward, even allowing the knee to come over the ankle. That's okay too. What that's going to do is really stretch the left psoas. So maybe even slide that left foot back a bit. Imagine that that back leg is doing a splits. So Anjana, there's a couple different origins of her, but basically she was a cloud person. She was magical, she was ethereal, and she was like a heavenly dancer, beautiful in every way. And she came down to earth and she married a monkey king. And there's some debate whether they're actually monkeys or if they just had the skill and the representation of monkeys, but since Hanuman in all his drawings is half monkey, we'll go ahead and say she married the monkey king. And her practice was so devoted, so devout, that she represented tapas themselves. She practiced every day without ceasing. She brought it on and off her mat, if you will. She was wonderful. She was beautiful. She wanted a baby so bad, and she couldn't have one. But because of her tapas, because of her desire to reach her goals, Vayu, wind, decided to help her out and gave her a baby. And that baby, long story short, I've gone over Hanuman before. So Anjana is the mom. Anjaneya means son of Anjana. So Anjaneya is who her baby was. Well, one thing led to another. He was cursed. Lots of damage was done. You can open the chest here. And then he became Hanuman. Hanu meaning jaw because he broke his jaw in the fall. So anyways, she was this magical person. And she was very devout, very disciplined, but very beautiful and strong because of her tapas. So as you're in this pose, can you think about the beauty of the shapes? As you move from having a straight leg to a bent knee, think about all the angles that you're creating as you lift through the heart. The dedication it takes to really find yourself in the shape. To enjoy yourself in the shape. Bringing that Anjana quality. When you're ready, I'd like you to sweep the arms up and notice where you are in space. If you'd like to push back, maybe even find balance challenge, straightening the leg, coming all the way forward to that bent knee, feeling a deep stretch through the backs and the fronts of the legs. It might change for you depending on what you're doing. It might even feel good to get a bit of a twist. Go ahead and take it if that would feel good. This is your practice. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that it gives you courage and strength, because that's what Anjana was all about. She used her practice, her daily commitment, her ritual to give herself courage and strength, hope that what she wanted would come. And because of her dedication, it did. So now let's find our half Hanumanasana. If you have, I know you've been flowing through it already, but let's really find it in a deeper way. So press down through the heel, straight through the front leg. Blocks under shoulders, push down through the heel, pull the heel back, press the left hip crease forward. We're really opening up. You can lift the heart, find your cow back, and then lower the chest towards the shin. Feel a deep stretch. Being careful not to overstretch the hamstring. like to dip the pelvis down, get a stretch through the front of the pelvis. It might feel really good on that right side. Tuck the toes. Peel up, plank pose. Option to move through vinyasa here, or to go straight to down dog or a child's pose. Yogi's choice. Moving a little slower now, we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna do the other side just as slow to give it the same tender, loving care. And then we're gonna go ahead and pick up the pace. So from your downward facing dog, this time we're gonna step the left foot forward. So reach up, make a nice straight line, pull the belly in, push the mat away, reach through the toes. You're growing 12 feet long here. Begin to bend through the knee, rock forward, feel the hip crease come under the hip. Flat hand, step the foot forward. If you need help stepping it forward, use your left hand. Right knee comes down. And then we're here. Take some wiggles, take some adjustments. Again, harnessing that energy, that dedication and devotion that Anjana had. She had beauty, but she had so much more than that. We all know that beauty doesn't last. Character does. Her character was devotion. Moving in whatever way feels good for you. Let this be your time to kind of jam out or rock out with whatever music you have playing. If you have silence in your room, move to the sound of your breath, letting the breath initiate the movements, noticing where you feel stretch and sensation, where you feel ease and space. Perhaps asking yourself as you rise up into our traditional Anjaneyasana, this posture, this strong, beautiful posture that takes opening, takes dedication to find. Where do you need a little more discipline? Where are you holding back from your goals and your dreams? What can you do about it? Not just on your mat, but off your mat. This has a lot more to do with physical postures. Taking the twist if that feels good. Perhaps even coming down, sliding the back knee back a bit so it feels like a split along that right front pelvis area. And then pushing the left knee forward, deep stretch. If it's too much, if it feels aggravating at any time, as some tapas will do, especially as we move into our pitta season, guys. So any pittas out there, you might be getting real fired up and it might feel really good now, but you might notice later you feel heavily agitated. That might mean that you did too much fire in your practice. So let's cool it down with some water-like movement. So sway the hips from side to side, roll the neck. Invite in a cool breath, breathing in and out of the mouth like you have a straw between your lips, or you can roll your tongue. Invite in some coolness. Finding a deeper art of Hanumanasana. Again, Hanumanasana was the son of Anjana. He was brave. He was the hero for Rama, his best friend. So think of this as halfway there. You're halfway brave. You're halfway devoted, disciplined like Anjana. Push down through the heel, push the right hip forward. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, guide the heart forward. Feel a stretch through the posterior chain. Let it feel good. Really just getting into the shape before we can pick up the speed. So as you're ready, come back, bent knee position. Left knee over the left ankle. Find some movement if you need it. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. Optional vinyasa here. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Option to come down to forearms. If you need to invert, if you need to get upside down right now, this is a good time for you, okay? Let that energy shift, just like turning over one of those sand timers, okay? Got a little bit of time. I know I said 5 breaths, but I'll give you a little bit longer. If you're doing your supported Shirshasana, interlacing the fingers, planting down firmly. Top of the head, the flat spot of the head comes to the floor, the hands cradle the back of the head. You push into the ground so there's space in the shoulder girdle. Right now you could slide a piece of paper between my head and the mat. And finding that dolphin shape, pulling the belly in, walking the toes forward, still pushing into the floor, feeling so much space in my shoulder girdle, I can rock the hips back. And maybe here your exercise is lifting one toe, then the other. One toe, then the other. I'm not going to have you kick up. I would rather have you rock the hips back until the toes can float. Maybe they just do little bunny hops. But maintain the push. You're not putting any cervical pressure in the spine. It's all about the arms and the shoulder girdle. Eventually, you'll be able to pike up. And trust me, that's a lot safer because you will have the muscle to support yourself once you're upside down. If we learn by kicking up, eventually we're also going to kick over, and that's where we can hurt ourselves. So as you're ready, you can pike down. You can find yourself diverting, not inverting, whatever the opposite of that is. Finding yourself in a child's pose, getting ready for 1 breath per movement. We don't have much longer in the class, so let's get it going. Let's get some heat. Child's pose, just to stir around the energy, stir around the heat we have. Notice how we feel in the hips. Spread the fingers. Find your plank pose. Rock the hips up and back. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Step it all the way forward. Knee down, arms up. Inhale, Anjana. Now, like we're reaching, reach the right arm up higher, then the left. Right arm, left. Right arm, left. One more time, right arm, left. Tuck the back toe, lift the knee, high crescent lunge. Tap and reach. Tap, reach. Now can we do that action with the leg at the same time we alternate with the arms? So lower the right, lift. Lower the left, lift. Alternating sides. Making strong bodies, strong minds. One more time. High crescent lunge. Straight through the arms, straight through the front leg. Bow forward. You might need to bend through the front knee a little bit. Option to reach forward with a beach ball here. Pull the belly in, find a lot more work. Tuck the chin, lengthen through the spine, reach, reach, reach. Or if you'd like to find your intense hamstring stretch, your pyramid pose, bump the back foot in, take the stretch. Yogi's choice. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Walk the hands forward, standing split. Left leg lifts high into the air. So I mentioned Vayu, that god of wind before. Let's find him in our warrior 3. Let's fly. So square that left hip under, lift the heart forward, soft bend in the right knee, lift up through the back heel, hands to heart. Maybe hands are reaching like an airplane or forward, whatever your warrior 3 is. Stay here longer than you want to. That's where the tapas begins. In fact, repeat the mantra to yourself. I have courage to change the things I can. Tapas is strict control over the mind, the body, the senses. What can you control right now? Step it back. Whoops. High crescent lunge. Tap the knee down, low crescent lunge, Anjana, right where we started. Might feel good now to straighten through that front leg. Let it feel good. Coming forward, planting the hands. Again, standing split. Option for some handstand hops. And they might just be little. So rock the shoulders forward over knuckles, bend through the knee, lift up through the heel. Just hop that right foot up just an inch, but push into the hands. That's a handstand hop, guys. That's good enough for me. It's good enough for you. Then you're going to step the feet back, find your plank pose, move through vinyasa. Enjoying this down dog, letting it feel restful. Inhale, lift the left leg. Step it forward. Right knee down. Reach the arms up, Anjana. Same thing, reaching up higher through the right arm, settling the shoulder, higher through the left. Doing this 5 times per side. Letting it be quick. If you'd like your Kapalabhati breath to do this to create even more heat, you can. Forceful exhale, passive inhale. Heat. Tuck the back toe, lift the knee, lower. Lift the knee, lower. Now add the arms. Reach, lower. Reach, lower. Reach, lower. Reach, lower. One more time each side. Reach, lower. Reach, lower. Rise up. And release the fingers behind the back. Open the chest here. Feel nice and strong. Begin straightening through the front leg. You can bring hands to hips. You can bump that back foot in, yogi's choice. Same option, pull the front of the belly to the spine. Feel the full abdominal wall work. You can reach forward, hold your beach ball. Let there be work of the body here, spinal erector muscles, the core. Or you can find your fold. Whatever you're needing, honor it. Walk the hands forward, standing split. Wrap the right hip under, standing L. Look forward, light on the fingertips, finding that wind, that flight, warrior 3. Hands to heart, hands forward or hands back. Yogi's choice. Let there be a smile. Reach actively through the fingers, actively through the foot, through the crown, and we're going to step it back. Find that high crescent lunge. Lower it down, right where we started. How does the shape feel different now? Plant the hands down. Walk the hands forward. Again, standing split. This time, inhale, half lift. Hands should be forward, hands under shoulders. Rock the shoulders forward so they're over knuckles. Again, little handstand hops, as little or as big as you'd like to make them. Maintaining a push through the fingertips, there are your brakes. Keeping that anchor leg. Stepping the foot all the way back. Left foot back, plank. Moving through vinyasa here. Do you feel warm? Do you feel control? Do you feel motivated? Tapas, tapas, tapas. That, my friends, is what Anjana was all about. Inhale the right leg up. Step it all the way forward. Now, walk the hands to face the side of your mat in a wide leg forward fold. And then take the fold. If you want some Skandasanas, take some Skandasanas, some low side lunges, stretching the insides of the legs. Again, if you'd like to invert or find an arm balance of your choice, maybe a combination of the two, this is your time. It's always good to have playtime that's just for you. Just remember, you're in charge, not your ego. Another good option here would bring the heels closer together, toes out, find your malasana, and take rest here. Still finding effort with the elbows to the knees to lift the spine. Feeling grounded, feeling the roots grow from the pelvis down to the earth. Where's the heat in your body? Where's the heat in your emotions? Is there anything that's had you fired up lately? Angry, upset? Do your best to let it go. Just like holding on to our parigraha theme from last week, we've got to let go if we want to change. Tapas is about holding on to hope, not holding on to resentment or anger. Got to let that stuff go to make space for the better, to be patiently, faithfully waiting for the change that you're working towards. Hands down to the floor, hips up towards the sky. And then plant the left hand under the face, bend both knees, reach the right arm up in the sky. Perhaps you can straighten through the left leg. Perhaps you can straighten through the right. Maybe you can walk the hand back a little bit closer towards the legs. Bend the knees again. Maybe wrap that right hand behind the low left back, looking for the left hip crease. Maybe you're going to find a bind here. Left hand comes under the left thigh, looking for the hand. Maybe you straighten the right leg, open the chest, right shoulder back. Maybe you straighten the left, maybe not. Finding a bind here in this twist. Again, we're rolling the right shoulder back, really pulling the right collarbone open, pull the belly back. Let's switch sides. Move through the right shoulder though. Okay, open it up. Right hand down, bend the knees, left arm up. Then you might straighten through the left leg, you might straighten through the right, push the hips back. Press into the right hand, reach up through the left arm, pull the shoulder back. Wrap the left arm behind towards the right hip crease. Perhaps aiming towards or waving at that bind again. Straightening through the left leg, maybe straightening through the right, pulling the left shoulder back. Open through the chest. Counter pressure from right arm to right thigh. Pull the belly in. Look up towards the sky or down towards the foot, whatever feels better on your neck. This is our corkscrew. Can feel pretty good. And release, right hand down, left arm up. Move through the arm. Again, shift the hips right to left. And then come all the way down to the floor. If you need just a little more heat in your practice, you know the drill, guys. Navasana, boat pose. Lift through the heart. Perhaps peace fingers to big toes, extending. Pull the belly in, pull the thighs towards you. And you can do this with bent knees, just pulling the knees towards the armpits, almost like a happy baby, or you can straighten through the legs. Either way, keep tall through the heart and pull. Use use the belly, use the hip flexors to pull, not just the arms, okay? If you prefer, you can also hold on to the feet here or the backs of the legs. You can test it. You can find what works better for you. And then the challenge comes by trying to keep the lift without the arms. Notice what was the hip flexors, what was the belly, and what was the strength of your arms. Are you shaking? Because I am. Then let's slowly lower down. Reach the arms overhead, get a full body stretch. Roll through the ankles, roll through the wrists, hug the knees into the chest. Maybe one at a time, stirring it around, maybe both at the same time. Again, your body, your practice. Your body's going to guide you well here. You're going to know what feels good right away. You're going to know what feels icky. Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Think of Anjana. She finally had her miracle baby, Anjanaya. This happy little baby that had no idea how powerful he was. Got him in trouble later, and he had to be cursed to forget about all of his powers. But again, that's a story for a different day. Just think of how happy he was, how happy she was to watch her baby in this posture. Let it bring you joy. Today you had the Anjana energy, the Anjana tapas. She was blessed because of her tapas, and so will you. Your dedication to get on your mat every day. Maybe not every day, but maybe the way that you live your life. Yoga off the mat is way more important than yoga on the mat, you guys. It can be how you talk to people, how you serve, how you complete actions. Yoga on the mat just teaches us how to live our lives. It's kind of like a guidebook. We get to practice instead of read. Straighten one leg, then the other. If there's any other closing postures or shapes, go ahead and take those. Then we're going to start moving towards our Shavasana. So in your Shavasana, take up lots of room. Spread the arms, spread the legs. Use supportive props if you need to support yourself with props. Get as comfortable as you can. You've earned it. Let this be your reward. And let a wave of peace, satisfaction. Last couple of weeks, we've talked about Ishvara Pranidhana, not having control, just kind of giving up all of that desire to control and to be in control. And last week it was letting go of the reward as the gift, letting the effort be the gift. This week it's combining those. It's letting the effort lead to the reward and just being blessed by it. By letting the actions that we carry on and off our mat enrich us in such a way that we become better people. That's the yoga. So as you come into your position of Shavasana, I'd like you to repeat to yourself silently in your own voice. Inhaling, I have the courage to change the things I can. Exhaling, I have the courage to change the things I can. Because you do. Again, I'm going to play the harmonium for just a few quick minutes. If it's not the sound for you, you can turn the volume down or mute me. But I'm going to go ahead and play, and I hope that is something that speaks to you as it does to me. So allow yourself to take rest, to enjoy the sound. Allow yourself to enjoy just another moment or two of stillness. If you're ready, you can blink the eyes open and taking in sound. Begin moving through the body. Perhaps creating an intention for your practice off your mat today. Where can you find courage and heat? Where can you find kindness and tether that with gentleness? And moving through the hands and the feet until you're ready to come to a seated position. Finding yourself seated. Sitting comfortably, maybe the way we started, maybe something different. Let the eyes close. Yoga Sutra 243 says, through committed discipline, we remove impurities and strengthen our personal power. Give yourself permission to strengthen your personal power. Bring hands together. Slight tuck of the chin. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.